Sam, you're disappointed to lose another game, or you're proud with the fight back in the second half? How do you sum it up?
Exactly like that. I'm disappointed for the players because I thought, if you look at the course of that game or the course of the year, they deserve that winning feeling, and they didn't get it. But I'm torn between being proud of the resilience and the fight, and staying all the way through right to the end. And then I'm also disappointed that we allowed 5 goals in a row and we lost control of the game. And they kicked one right on the siren of the first quarter, which was really disappointing. I thought we were right with them at that point. And then we kicked a couple in the second, and then they kicked the 5 in a row. And we knew that it would be a side that you're going to have to work. You have to win it over 4 quarters. And I thought the work ethic and the desire, and we changed a few things, and I thought the players responded fantastically well. And I was just so disappointed looking at their faces after the game with their disappointment after leaving so much out there. And I think all the people at the ground would have been proud of watching them, but the same, all the Hawks fans, you just want them to be able to celebrate a success, and we haven't been able to do it.
You flagged at half-time that Harper could go forward. It was a pretty fair move in the end.
Yeah, I mean, he's a frustratingly good player, so I'm really nervous to move him out of the back half at any time because he's so important for us back there. But we knew the contest in front of the game was an area where we had struggled. We lost a lot of team shape in the second quarter in particular, and so we made a few changes at half time. And I think everyone who's watched him train and play at different times forward has thought that was happening, and thought he's going to be able to kick a score at some point. And we've used him at different times there, but this was the first time he really got the opportunities and took them, and I was pleased for him. But moving him out of the back line, you're always a bit nervous. So, but I was proud of him. I thought he had a fantastic performance. Even in the first half, I thought he was excellent back, and then to go forward and nearly drag us over the line. Nearly, though.
Are you going to keep him there? I mean, that's the fascination with Blake Harper. You trained him there all pre-season. We know what he did as an underage player at Eastern Rangers, but after seeing what you saw tonight, will you keep him there now?
I am going to move on pretty quick, but I'm not quite there yet. So we haven't had a match committee for next round. I dare say the backline coach will be saying, no, he's really important here. And then I'm pretty sure the forward line coach is saying, you can't be serious, he has to play forward. So we'll look at the other players who are available and how we want to set the game up. Obviously didn't get to watch too much of the Suns game today, but I saw the first quarter and they looked excellent. So I know they went down in the end against a quality side. So we'll do some scouting during the week. I really don't know.
How's the Luke Bruce tracked, I guess, last week? So he might play a part if he is available. Do you think he could be in a week's time?
My understanding, so his groin stuff, he's just lost a lot of power. So really we have to unload him and make sure that he's not putting any more force through it for a little while. Whether he's available this week, I had the inkling. They said, he might be available, but the 2 6-day breaks means by the time he knows he's not playing, there's only 10 days between that game and the next one. So he's some chance, and if he's available, he'll come into the side. So wait and see. He's got a few more days of recovery before we'd ask him to train, and we'll see. Because I think he would have been helpful today. Just a little bit of a wise head in front of the ball. That little bit of leadership. I think we were very young today. We played a very young side, and I think we had 6 or 7 players who hadn't played 20 games. And so when you have quite that many, you just don't know how to handle those close situations quite as well as Collingwood, and they're obviously well versed, and we know their close game record is outstanding, and they proved today they just did enough.
So much focus on Jack Ginnivan in the build-up. Were you satisfied with the way he was umpired today?
Oh, look, I think with Jack, he's had a fantastic start to his time in brown and gold. I'm loving the way he's playing. He's scoring goals, he's creating pressure, he's helping us lock it in the front half. He's, working really hard in the game, and the outside narrative is fascinating for the world. But he's a really important player for us, and I thought he had a good game today. And it would have been, he's 21 years old. You think about the scrutiny that, a lot of it, obviously, he's been a part of, but he's had an enormous amount of scrutiny. And so for him to go back and kick our first goal and to be a strong performer. I thought his level of maturity today was going to be challenged, and some people said to me, how do you think he's going to handle it? And I mean, a 21-year-old under that much scrutiny, how do you know? And I thought he played another really good game for us.
How does he handle that spotlight away from the field? I mean, we see him on field and he's such a great player. How does he deal with all that scrutiny away from it?
I mean, I don't think it would be right for me to talk about how he handles all of that sort of thing. All I know about Jack is he's loving life in the brown and gold, and he is as passionate as any of our players about making sure that we're going to have success. And I think he has obviously had success. He's a premiership player, and he plays today with an enormous amount of frustration that we couldn't quite get there because he knows what success feels like. And I think the influence that he has on our group has been excellent. And there's been a lot of talk this week in particular about his footy IQ, but he's a guy that we regularly go to and say, what are you seeing in the game? What are you thinking? And I think his knowledge around the game is as good as any of our players, and we're going to keep leaning on him in that way. And I think how he handles the external, the proof's in the pudding, and he's playing good footy. So keep doing what you're doing, Jack.
Just on his IQ, did you like how he drew that 50-metre penalty and make sure the umpire saw that when I was pointing him past the ball back?
I actually haven't seen that. I saw that there was a 50, but I was sort of looking at something else in the game, so I didn't even actually know that it was for that. But nothing he does is probably. I think if he was being smart, he's one of those guys, he understands a lot of things. Little things like giving the ball back slowly to the opposition or manning the mark or not manning the mark, he knows what to do. He doesn't need to be coached in those areas, and smart players like that are worth their weight.
Let's take one more, guys. John Newcombe, while strong in the first half, looked like he really responded to what must have been said at half-time in that third quarter. Came out, contest, very strong, and really was a key player in getting back into the game.
Yeah, I think, we've had Will Day on the bench while he's been injured, and I think that influence between our midfield group with having Daisy on the bench has really helped solidify them. And so for the last couple of weeks, I think they've worked really well. And obviously last week it was Warps that had the big, strong game, and today it was a bit more of Nuke able to do it. But the influence that the collective of the midfield has been able to put together over the last 2 weeks has been much improved. And I think it's not really about which individual dominates the game. I know that that's the big story that the media would love, but I was really pleased with the response from the midfield group last week and then into this week, where we were able to win clearances. I think we gave away 4 free kicks in centre bounce, which hurt us, but for the most part, I think Nuke's been going okay, and today was a big step in the right direction. He's got that great ability to lead the group, and when he's good in key moments, I think he drags the team with him, and having players who are capable of doing that is really important for us going forward. And the challenge for us is in that second quarter when they kicked the 5 in a row, we just didn't have that key moment that we could have got back control of the game.